Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's good to see you all again. I told you I'm hitting it back and better than ever, and we coming at you with back-to-back videos. That's crazy, bro. That's pretty crazy. You can't even lie. And even though I am a little bit late to this one, there was no new chapter this week, so I figured better late than never. Now, I'm sure everyone who actually keeps up with the manga is probably like, oh, Clamp, you're late as fuck, dude. What's wrong with you? I read this last week when we actually got it. You know what? Shut up. I don't care. And hey, I live stream my reaction, so, fuck you. Getting straight into business, chapter 216 picks up right where 215 leaves off, with Snuffy and BAROU in the Uber's training facility, as the proposition for BAROU to become the new crown messenger was just issued. Snuffy states that out of all the strikers in Blue Lock, actually out of all the strikers in the Neo Egoist League, period, BAROU has the best specs and mindset befitting of a striker. That's a disgusting take, because that means that he's including Kaiser, which is ridiculous. But then again, we know he's talking about specs and mindset, so take it with a grain of salt. Just a little bit of BAROU glazing from Snuffy. We all do it every once in a while. Once again offering his help, as he tells BAROU that they're going to work together, which, to the shock of none of us, BAROU actually refuses. I mean, this is no shock. We all know BAROU at this point. Can we really say that we expected anything else? BAROU follows up the rejection by saying, I am who I am. I'm different from your friend who decided to kill himself. Fucking harsh, man. Besides, I don't want a crown that's handed down to me. Also, I don't want to be like you, a coward that's scared of the future. This man just genuinely does not give a fuck who he's talking to. This is the crown messenger himself, bro. And oh my, nah, dude, nah, just nah. We see him walk out into the hallway as all the Uber's players apparently overheard the conversation and are pretty shocked that he actually was stubborn enough to reject the offer. Aiku specifically questions him as he wonders how he could give up such a golden opportunity, but BAROU keeps it plain and simple, saying that like he told Snuffy, he only fights for himself. We then cut to the relaxation theater room where BAROU is getting some after workout training in by the looks of things, when he's interrupted by this absolute fucking goober, Don Lorenzo. Like, I know this man's cold on the pitch, but he's so fucking weird, bro. He's so weird. As he comes in, he changes the channel, starts messily eating his popcorn, which, BAROU being the clean freak that he is, pisses him off, and goes on to talk about how Snuffy seems to have taken an interest in BAROU. From here, we basically get 2 pages of Lorenzo just glazing Snuffy for how great of a dude he is, how much he's won, his accolades, what he means to the Ubers, so on and so forth, and eventually talking about how he just cares about people, leading into us actually getting something I wasn't expecting at this point, but Lorenzo's backstory itself. From what we can see, he was nothing but a homeless street rat living in a bunch of garbage. It seemed like he had no parents, no direction, until Snuffy came around. Right when he was on the verge of dying, Snuffy appeared out of nowhere, asking Lorenzo to go into business with him, or as we all know at this point, play football for him. Lorenzo, being the money-hungry bastard that we all know and love, he challenged Snuffy, saying, take my rotting teeth and replace them with gold, explaining how he got his grills, which is just a great little piece of world building if I do say so myself. Like, the author really didn't need to explain how he got the gold teeth, but awesome. But basically, this is all Lorenzo's way of telling BAROU that Snuffy is a guy who won't abandon the less fortunate, as he's crazy enough to give them a chance at having a real future. Basically meaning that Snuffy's a good guy, no matter what, he's got your best interest at heart, and even if you may be someone as self-centered and selfish as BAROU, you might want to consider taking his help at least this one time. This conversation's eventually interrupted by Snuffy himself, saying, hey, you two, it's time for some training. Let's not talk about how Lorenzo replied to this, please. Bro already meowed and now he's freaking barking. I don't know. But really quickly, BAROU tells Snuffy to hold up, as he's finally changed his mind and agrees to work with him. But under one condition, he is not going to become the new crown messenger. He is not Snuffy's successor. No, he's going to become a striker that surpasses the crown messenger himself, and through Snuffy's help is going to become the new king of football. Both Lorenzo and Snuffy look ecstatic as he agrees and says let's get to work, as we see a quick little training arc where Snuffy talks about BAROU's strengths, his weaknesses, as well as what facets of the game he should improve on. Specifically his ability to hunt for goals, especially when he's in one-on-ones against the goalkeeper. He goes on to tell BAROU that he needs to work on taking smarter shots and learning when the best time to take a shot is, telling him to remember that you don't shoot when you want to shoot, but you shoot the instant the enemy lowers its guard. From here, we quickly cut back to the Ubers vs Basel Munich match, as we pick up where we left off, with BAROU taking the ball upfield about to take a shot. He's reading Gagamaru in goal and waiting for him to actually drop his guard, when we quickly get to see Gagamaru's point of view, where unfortunately, he has absolutely no clue where the ball is, as the wall of bodies is completely hindering his view. Isagi sees this, of course, saying that they blocked the goalkeeper's vision so that he can't see the ball, a split-second blind shot. By the time he realizes it, it's already too late. A move that requires super high-level teamwork, the stealth kill shot. Before Gagamaru can even realize what had happened, the ball sails into the back of the net, as BAROU Shoei has brought the Ubers back in this match, tying the game at 1 goal apiece. Simply saying, excellent work, serve me Ubers, as chapter 216 of the Blue Lock manga comes to a close. Now, holy shit, there's a lot to unpack in this one, like seriously. More character development for BAROU, of course, as not only do we see he's still the same old BAROU that we know and love, stubborn as always, rejecting Snuffy's offer in the first place, but we see that he's actually accustomed to change, and Lorenzo's words specifically spoke to him. The old BAROU never would have passed, he never would have relied on teamwork or tactics to get to where he needed to go, simply he would have relied on himself and his own ability. But now that he has the Crown Messenger on his side, as well as the fact that he sees the Ubers as his actual team that he can utilize to score more goals, put that together, and I think that this is the most dangerous BAROU Shoei that we have ever seen in the entirety of Blue Lock. This might be one of the scariest Neo-Egoist appearances so far, if I'm being honest. On top of the absolute beautiful spotlight that BAROU got this chapter, the Lorenzo backstory was a really nice gift that I did not expect to get this early on, especially since we haven't even gotten backstories for people like Kaiser. It's crazy to think that we're getting a Lorenzo backstory when he was introduced, like, what, 5 chapters ago? But hey, I'm not gonna complain with more world building, like, seriously. Overall, I think this was an absolutely amazing chapter, if I do say so myself. I am so excited for what's to come, and I really don't know what direction this is gonna go, so I'm all over the place as far as predictions goes right now, so we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess, which is the best feeling ever when reading manga. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into the chapter review. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, as well as subbing up to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss another banger from myself. We are currently on the road to 30k, so seriously, if you haven't already, please make sure to sub up. It would mean a lot to me, and isn't that the most important thing? As well as who you think's gonna score the next goal. Personally, I think it's either gonna be Kaiser or BAROU, but that's just me, and I've been wrong basically every single time with this game. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. Love you guys. Take it easy.